Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead here and get started. I gave him some quick instructions on when he can talk. Um, Needless to say, we're having a little bit of an audio issue. But just so everyone is aware, we've disabled the chat feature just because we're recording for some compliance issues. Your microphones have been muted temporarily. We will turn them back on when we get to the Q&A portion. And then we will ask you to use the raise your hand feature as well. I'm Carl Holman, the manager of communications. Sorry that we're having some communication issues at the moment. Um, Otherwise, today's topic is we're going to be discussing the ABCs of P&Ls, profit and loss statement loans. So with that, our speaker is Hernandez. He is our wholesale team manager on the East Coast. And with that, I will turn the microphone over to him and let him take it from here. Okay, Bernie, it's all yours.
Hey guys, how are you, man? Good afternoon. Well, thanks everybody for joining us here for the meeting. Sorry, I have a huge echo here. I'm gonna have to fight through it. Hey, so just to kind of go over a little bit here with regarding A&D Mortgage and who we are. We're a nationwide wholesale lender. And as you can see here, Imperial Fund, that's our hedge fund. And basically we work close together to bring you all the products that we have available for you in the non-QM world and spectrum. All right. Now I do have to apologize. I have a tremendous echo, and I'm not going to be able to. My apologies. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me right now. So in any case, I'll try to power through it and move forward. Again, my apologies.
Yeah, we can hear you. The echo is not bad, just so you're aware.
Well, it's bad for me because I say something and I can completely hear myself at the same time. So how do we go ahead and move forward to the next thing? Okay, excellent. So here you can see we're licensed in 22 states to do primary residences, owner occupied properties. Okay, there are about 40 states across the country that you don't need to have any licenses to do business purpose loans, which are basically investment properties. Okay, and that's going to encompass our DSCR products, bank statements, and of course the P&L program that we're going to be going over today. All right, and just a quick note here on the forecast for 2022. We're going to have a lot of loans coming through here, and especially as I don't know if you guys have noticed, the non-QM spectrum is going to be a big part of that this year. Okay, so essentially to go over the P&L program and the benefits that it goes. Obviously, we do full doc loans for non-QM loans, and we have the spectrum of bank statement loans, asset utilization, DSCR, of course, for investment properties that hopefully you guys have been able to join some of our other webinars that go over these things. But our P&L program specifically is there for when some of these loans don't fit the picture. All right, for a profit and loss prone, to kind of break it down a little bit, it's something that it's a profit and loss prepared by a credentialed tax preparer. All right, that encompasses CPAs, accountants, essentially anyone that has a PTIN number or better can go ahead and prepare a P&L so that we can use on this program. And we don't need bank statements to support the income on the P&L. So regarding the program itself, throughout the program itself, we can go down to credit scores that go down to 580. We can go up to 85% loan to value with a 2-year profit and loss. an 80% loan to value for a 1-year P&L. Okay, for owner occupied loans, we go to a max DTI of 55%. And on our guidelines there, we have a max loan amount of $4 million. Okay, when you're doing a refinance for cashing out, we have a max cash in hand of $1 million after closing costs and all that. And when the loan to value is 55% or less, we don't have a limit on that cash out amount. Okay, and once again, you can see the note there. The P&L has to be prepared by a tax professional. Okay, a credentialed tax professional, again, that at least they'll have a PTIN number. Okay, and it's available for both our super prime and our prime programs, which essentially the difference between those two has to do with credit events that have taken place over the last 2 years. Credit events being bankruptcies, foreclosures, or modifications. Okay, here we got some examples of what it is that we can do it with. Okay, so a 1-year P&L program will go to 80% loan to value, as mentioned earlier, and 2-year P&L to 85. Okay, this program is reserved for businesses that have been established for at least a couple of years, and that includes LLCs and corporations that have been open for 2 years. Okay, this also works for Schedule C, sole proprietors, independent contractors that are validated by the accountant to have been working for at least 2 years as a self-employed individual. Okay, and here you see some examples that includes truckers, realtors, licensed contractors, and such. There we can move forward. All right. And here's a loan scenario actually, so that we can go over it. This is for a realtor that doesn't have an LLC or corporation established. So essentially they're working as a sole proprietor, getting paid with a 1099 and reporting as a Schedule C. Essentially we'll get a letter from the tax preparer that's going to confirm their self-employed status of working as a self-employed individual for the last couple of years. And they at that point will also go ahead and prepare the profit and loss for the last 24 months or 12 months accordingly. Right, that our verification of self-employed status is actually going to come from the very cover letter that the account produces for us. Okay, and again, for your info again, the 1-year P&L is at 80 LTV, a 2-year P&L goes to 85% LTV. The P&L itself, to make it simple, it's going to be gross income on the top, some itemized expenses, net income on the bottom. Then we'll get that net income and divide that by 24 months or 12 months accordingly. All right. You can go over to the next slide. Okay. Then the other scenario, of course, is somebody that has a corporation or LLC that has been established for a couple of years. Okay, again, that the tax preparer will confirm that they have been self-employed for a couple of years. They'll go ahead and note the start date of the business and the percentage of ownership of the business, and then go ahead and prepare a 24-month P&L or 12-month P&L accordingly. All right, so as far as the dates on the P&L, for example, right now we're in March of 2022. So the P&L will be from March of 2020 through February of 2022. It's just one P&L to encompass the full 24 months. And the same thing would apply for the 1-year P&L. Okay, as far as where you should market to close more profit and loss loans, essentially anyone that is a self-employed borrower where the bank statement program might not work, and then you will have the option of putting them in this P&L program, whether they're a sole proprietor or they have an LLC. Okay, one of the cool things about this program is that you can have someone that was working as a sole proprietor and then went ahead and incorporated a business within a certain amount of time frame. The accountant will go ahead and explain to us that they've operating as a self-employed individual for X amount of years. And then for tax purposes, they went ahead and incorporated the business, let's say within the last year. They can give us a combined profit and loss for all of their self-employed income, and that's what we'll go ahead and use. Okay, a scenario like that generally would not work on a bank statement program. Okay, empower your boat doesn't mean that we do boat loans, but basically it's letting us know that you have a lot of uh, technical advantages with working with A&D. Okay, once if you go onto admortgage.com, you're going to see our quick pricer there. It's going to be the easiest way for you to go ahead and price any of our non-QM products, so, of course, including the profit and loss program. Okay, we also have a new appraisal center that's going to give you access to various AMCs, but you're only going to need to set up this one login through us, and rather than individual logins for these AMCs. Okay, and AD Studio is your marketing portal. You know, you're going to be able to individualize different marketing pieces, including flyers and social media connections there with your information. That, of course, will have the products that we have available for you. Okay, then of course we have future webinars following. You're going to see the foreign national webinar, and then you're going to see the bank statement program as well. All of those every week. Different social media that we have available, that we advertise on Facebook, LinkedIn, and various others as well. And you can go ahead and add these links to your social media as well, so that we can have more business rolling your way.
Yeah, and I want to emphasize too that we do have the two user groups. There's a LinkedIn non-QM exchange and a Facebook non-QM exchange. So that's a good forum for interacting with your peers. If you have any loan scenarios that you guys have questions about, you can put them over there. And I think there are a number of lenders on there that can assist, but we're a part of that exchange group. So just wanted to make sure that was aware. Okay, so we'll move over to the Q&A section here in just a second. I just wanted to bring up really quickly, once you log out of this webinar, there'll be a brief, like 5-question, 2-minute survey just to let us know how you think we're doing. So with that, there's one question sitting over in the chat, Bernie. Not sure if you had a chance to see it. Sorry, in the Q&A section. It's on a 1-year program. If this was July 1st, would you be looking at the last 12 months or year to date for this year or last year?
On the 12-month P&L program, we're going to look from the most recent 12 months. So essentially, it would be from March of 2021 through February of 2022. All right, guys, I really do apologize for the choppy way that I've been speaking. I'm literally saying something, waiting for me to hear myself, and then going on.
Yeah, so if anybody has a question, go ahead and either raise your hand, or you can put it over in the Q&A and we'll get to it.
Now, guys, the P&L program really does work well as an alternative to bank statement programs. There might be other reasons that you wouldn't be able to do a bank statement program. For example, you might not have consecutive months of bank statements where a borrower might have switched from one bank to another, and they have overlapping bank statements. At that point, we're going to have difficulty actually putting them in a bank statement program. And at the same time, you might have another borrower that will have a lot of NSFs and overdrafts on their bank statements, business bank statements or personal, whatever we may be using. And that in itself can make a bank statement program ineligible. So a profit and loss program is a way for you to be able to use the income that they make without introducing some of those disqualifying factors.
Kyle, I'm trying to unmute you. I see you've got a question. If you somehow aren't able to unmute, you want to type it in the Q&A. Oh, okay. There we go.
Button
Nope.
from Kyle.
No question. I think he might have just hit the wrong button. So if we have any other, oh, okay, Michelle's got a question. Michelle, go ahead. See if we can hear you. Michelle, you want to type? You can try typing it over in the chat, Michelle. Sorry, I'm in the Q&A.
Hello?
Ah, there you are. Hi, Michelle.
Hello?
Hi, we hear you.
Hello?
Hi, Michelle. We hear you.
Hi. So I just wanted to confirm once again about a person who is Schedule C self-employed, but they don't have an LLC. So long as we can get a letter from the accountant saying that they have been filing taxes as Schedule C, they can do the profit and loss program.
Precisely. Yeah. So essentially the accountant letter will be written in a way, whether it's Schedule C or somebody that is incorporated, the accountant will go ahead and note on there how long they've been self-employed. And
Okay.
that would be our third-party verification for that.
Okay. So it doesn't matter that they don't have an LLC created.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and you know that there's various type of customers that'll have these various businesses
Right. Yeah. Okay.
that are not
Perfect.
incorporated.
Thank you.
Okay.
You got it. So I see another question here from Scott regarding NSFs on the P&L program. So what I meant by that is on the P&L program, we're not looking for bank statements to substantiate the income. You know, that's why we're asking for it to come from a credentialed tax preparer. So these NSFs that might show up on bank statements, we're not really going to be privy to.
All right. Any more questions? Okay. All right, great. Thanks, Scott.
Got it, guys. And we can do this P&L program, of course, on owner occupied loans and investment properties as well.
All right. Any more questions? More hands raised. Okay. Well,
Hey, guys. So I don't know if you see it behind me. That's admortgage.com. Once you go in there, you'll be able to have access to that quick pricer that we mentioned, you know, the appraisal portal, the marketing portal as well. And on there, you can actually have access to our non-QM guidelines, including the P&L program. So if you really wanted to get deep into it, you can go ahead and read right through them and see exactly what our underwriters look at and are looking for.
hey, Bernie, Paul just put a good question over in the Q&A if you want to take a look at it.
Let's go, I'm sure. To be clear on a couple of things. Okay, we do need to have a credentialed tax preparer preparing these profit and losses. So Paul's question was that there are people that operate their own business and use QuickBooks to file their own taxes, and if they wouldn't be eligible for this program. Okay, no, we do not accept self-prepared profit and losses. Okay, they do have to come from a credentialed tax preparer. Now, we don't require it to be the tax preparer that actually prepared their tax returns. So this client could take his information over to an accountant, and that accountant can review things. And then at that point, go ahead and prepare the profit and loss.
Great question. Okay. All right, any more questions? Raise your hand or type it in the chat. Nope. Follow from ball.
Okay, we got another one from Paul.
Mhm.
Okay, that the business must exist for 2 years, but I allow a 12-month profit and loss. Correct, exactly. So this, for any of our programs that we do verify business income, the business should be in existence for the last 2 years. And like I explained, it could also be somebody that transitioned from a Schedule C sole proprietor to an incorporated business. You know, it would just need to have that clarification from the accountant that during the last year or two that they went ahead and opened up a corporation for tax purposes. It's good questions, Paul.
Any other folks got questions out there? Oh, another one from Paul.
Very good. This 2 years means the last 24 months. All right, so remember the profit and losses that we're asking for are the most recent 24 months or the most recent 12 months. It's actually why we have a variety in the program. They're allowing for the most recent 12 months. Some accountants or some tax preparers are more comfortable preparing the most recent 12 months, knowing that is an overlapping tax year for something that might not have been filed. But it is for the most recent 24 months or 12 months.
And Camille, I'll email you Bernie's contact information right after this is over.
Okay. And then
Kyle's got a question.
Kyle's asking about derogatories on credit. I mean, what we look at here are credit events, like I mentioned, bankruptcies, foreclosures, modifications, and mortgage lates. Okay, so where if it's revolving lates, installment lates, those things we really don't take into account. Obviously, they affect the credit score, but that's not part of something that will, you know, that our underwriter will look for. So now keep in mind, if there is a judgment or open collection and things like that, those do have to get taken care of depending on the program that you use, whether it's super prime or prime. You know, with our prime program, you can keep certain collections and charge-offs open that might have a balance, you know, and we'll qualify them with 5% of the balance, or if they have enough reserves in the bank after closing that'll cover that amount, then we don't require them to be paid off. Okay, for super prime and DSCRs, things like that, we do require judgments and charge-offs, collections with balances over a certain amount to be paid off.
Okay. Great questions, guys. Keep them coming. Let's give it another minute or two. If not, we'll wrap up. All right. This will be last call for questions if we don't have any.
Paul chiming in one more time. I love it.
All right, Paul.
If you want to do a 12-month P&L, but my business has to exist for 2 years, does it count if my business is 1.5 years old and showed up on the last 2 years of tax returns? Or does the business actually have to be existed for 24 months? Okay, so yes, the business should be of existence for the last 24 months. Okay, we will do exceptions if they're falling a month or two short. That's stuff that we can apply for. But in essence, yes, it's for a business that has been in existence for 2 years, 24 months.
All right, Kyle, is that a question about pricing hits?
Yes, there is a difference in pricing between a 1 year and a 2 year profit and loss, in addition to a better loan to value allowance for a 2-year profit and loss. The difference is there's a quarter hit to the fee for a 2-year P&L and a 3/4 hit to the fee for a 1-year P&L.
Okay. All right. Do you want to squeeze in any last more questions, folks, or? Yeah, I see people starting to leave, so I think we're pretty wrapped up. Kyle, Paul, you guys got any last questions? Whoop. Okay.
Nice. Are there any prepayment fees? All right, Carlos, prepayment penalties only are allowed on investment properties. So for owner occupied loans, we do not have any prepayment fee. When it comes to investment properties, we do have prepayment penalties that go up to 5 years. Okay, and there'll be different pricing advantages to selecting a 5-year prepay over 3-year or 1 year. All right, so here's an important question. Can you change from bank statement to P&L when a file is submitted? Technically, no. All right. Once a file is submitted as a bank statement loan, to switch midstream to a profit and loss program is generally not allowed, as a bank statement program is actually a less risky indicator of the income. All right, so profit and loss does have more risk to it in terms of identifying the borrower's income.
All right. Give some more, just a few more minutes. All right, I don't see any more hands raised. All right, we'll give one more minute for last minute questions, and if not, we'll wrap up.
Sounds good, guys.
Okay.
I really appreciate you joining us today for profit and loss. I know it's a lot of information in a short amount of time.
Mhm.
You know, I know my contact information will be up there somewhere for you guys to reach out directly.
Yep.
If you have any specific scenarios that you need answered, I'd be happy to help you with it. And of course, you can go on to admortgage.com and get our rate sheets and our guidelines to be able to answer some more questions for yourself.
And then tomorrow you'll also get a follow-up email with a link to the recorded video, and it'll also be posted on our website if you guys want to go back and review any questions that came up or see the slideshows. Okay, well, with that, thank you everybody for your attention. Hopefully we'll see you at next week's webinar. Other than that, we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
All right, guys, thank you.